Hi, boys and girls. For one of your rotations today, you are going to do a cause and effect relationship worksheet with this passage called the Mayflower Voyage. Please follow along with yours as I read aloud. The Pilgrims were from England and were part of a religious group called the Separatists because they separated from the Church of England to create their own religion. They had to leave England because they knew that by creating their own religion, they were breaking the law. They escaped to Holland, where they lived for 12 years, but they finally decided to go back to England because their children were losing the English language and losing the English customs that were important to them. In 1620, the Pilgrims set sail from England with two ships. One was the Speedwell and the other was the Mayflower. The Speedwell started to leak, so they had to turn back. When they arrived in England again, some of the Speedwell's passengers boarded the Mayflower, which made it even more crowded. There were 102 passengers on the Mayflower, and out of these 102, 34 were children. One baby was born during the voyage, and his name was Oceanus. The passengers were divided into two groups, the Separatists and the Strangers. The Strangers wanted to travel to the New World to make a new start in America, but not necessarily for religious reasons. Besides the passengers, there were about 30 sailors on board, including the captain, Christopher Jones. There were also dogs, cats, sheep, goats, and chickens. Ship life was not easy. Not only was it crowded, but many people were seasick as the ship sailed through rough waters during storms. During one particularly bad storm, a young man named John Howland was swept off the deck and fell into the sea. Luckily, he caught hold of a rope and was pulled back onto the ship. Food on ship was different from what they usually ate at home. The only food the Pilgrims had to eat was salted meat and fish, hardtack, dry biscuits, dried peas and beans, dried fruit, and cheese. All of their food was washed down with beer, since fresh water was not easy to obtain or store. Boat conditions were not very sanitary, as there were no bathrooms on the Mayflower, and the passengers had to wear the same clothes every day for 66 days. They were finally able to wash their clothes when they reached the shore. Originally, the Mayflower was supposed to take the Pilgrims to Virginia, where they could set up a colony and have religious freedom, but their ship went off course. Finally, the Mayflower reached Cape Cod Harbor off of Massachusetts. When they arrived, groups of men took smaller boats to shore and scouted the area, looking for places to live. They found freshwater streams and forests full of natural resources, and this was where they created Plymouth Colony. You and your group need to work together to work on this cause and effect relationship worksheet. Some of the causes are filled out for you, so you need to say what the effect was, and some of the effects are filled out for you, so you need to say what caused them. Work together. Good luck.